This girl has just slept for 30 minutes, but people all over the world already disappeared. She rides her bike out to check and the streets are very normal, but there isn't anyone. The street that used to be very crowded is now terrifyingly deserted. Suddenly she hears a dog barking. So weird, the dog seems to be playing with someone. Layla throws her bicycle away, and gets on the bridge. On the highway this time, there are only a few cars standing motionless on both of the lanes. The world becomes strangely quiet. Layla continues on checking. She wants to go to the hospital, because her brother had an accident, and was in the intensive care unit. But she can only find an empty room, her brother isn't here. Layla almost goes crazy, what has happened to this world? She can't believe it and rushes out. It looks like the end of the world. Everyone seems to have evaporated. Layla is very frightened. She goes to the places that used to be the most crowded. She shouts loudly and frantically runs. Layla continuously searches in the buildings, on the bridges. So tired is she that Layla goes to a supermarket and takes a drink. She sits on the floor and thinks what she should do next. At the same time, Layla hears some noises. There seems to be someone blowing the trumpet. She rushes outside and sees two people. Layla immediately runs after and tells them to stop. The two say that when they woke up, everything had already been like this. They also don't know what's happening. Although they don't know each other, the three kids feel like having been friends for a long time. Together they continue on searching for the others. But they seem to be being stalked. When they come to a high-class office building, they find someone's legs. Slowly they approach that person. It turns out to be a black boy. But this boy is very strange. He drives the car away alone. So the kids have to ride their bikes to continue on the search, from dawn till the late night. But the lights are still that bright. They decide to find the source of electricity. On the building, suddenly appears the SOS sign. The kids enter the building, and suddenly a robot's voice comes from the camera, which tells them to put down their weapons, and the kids follow it. The elevator door slowly opens. Another boy turns up in front of them, who turns out to be searching for other people too. The new boy leads them to the basement, that is full of supercars. He turns out to be a rich kid. The group drives the car around the large city. Terry uses the loudspeaker to check if there is anyone else, but he receives no reply. Within hundreds of meters there is not even a single signal. Suddenly the kids encounter someone. That's Dodgy, the black boy who drove the car away alone. He lies on the ground panting. Dodgy was hit by an arrow. When the kids are about to bring him away, suddenly a few arrows come from somewhere. So scared are they that the kids hurriedly run out of that place. None of them knows where those arrows come from. They go to a hotel to remove the arrow from Dodgy's body. When they are resting, a drone secretly approaches the window and films them. The next day, the kids continue on their journey to look for other people. They reach the city border. When they get off the car, they discover something even scarier. That's a weird thick fog appearing at the city border. It's dense and huge, slowly spreading. The kids intend to go past it, but they find out that the temperature is very high. The glasses are broken in a wink. The fog is getting closer and closer to them. The kids have to drive away as fast as possible. Terry uses the binoculars to check and discover that there is no way to escape. Because the entire city is surrounded by the fog, so scary. The more weird thing is that when they woke up, all the people had already disappeared. They don't know what to do. The kids have to hide in the city center. But time will wait for no one. An armored truck suddenly appears on the street. That's the kids. They decide to go through the dense fog to see what is hiding behind it. They stop right in front of the fog and stare at it. They put on the masks and step on the accelerator, determine the direction, and get ready to depart. Suddenly a voice coming from the radio draws their attention. Hearing the voice, it seems to be a soldier's. He tells the kids that they shouldn't go through the fog, because he will come pick them up within 24 hours. They finally have a chance to be saved. They're very delighted. That night, the group find a hotel to stay in. Together they drink wine to celebrate. While they're sleeping, the drone from earlier comes and films them again. Layla hears some noises and goes out to check. Suddenly, a masked man rushes toward her with a knife. Unfortunately, her gun is still unloaded. Layla can only run into another room. Right when she closes the door, that guy stabs the knife through it. Layla immediately locks the door and loads the gun. One by one, the knife pierces through the door. Layla screams in panic. Suddenly, there is no more noise. Outside the door comes Dodgy's voice. When the two runs out, the masked man has already left. So weird, who is that guy? Why does he want to kill them? The fog spreads very quickly. In the next morning, it has already covered half of the city. Right when they're about to leave, they find out that Camille has already disappeared. They search for very long, but still can't find her. Suddenly, a drone turns up in front of them. It tells them the girl's location, and that they should go to an abandoned factory. But only one of them is allowed to enter. Dodgy, the black boy, bravely volunteers, but he has left for a long time, and still doesn't come back. Layla can no longer wait, she holds a gun and goes in. When they find him, Daji is fatally wounded and being hung up. He is no longer breathing. Suddenly, the masked man appears and squeezes his neck. Layla almost faints. Fortunately, he is knocked out. That's Terry. The kids take off his mask and tie him up, but no matter how hard they try, he doesn't say a word. Terry then discovers that he is mentally disabled. And the military signal from before is also deliberately faked by someone. At this time, a loud bang comes. The dense fog is gradually approaching them. Its developing speed is faster and faster. The whole city is surrounded, the fog is reaching the center. These 5 kids don't know that they've already died. Before dying, they brought their beliefs and aspirations with them. There were only regrets left. Underneath the Ferris wheel, they saw a boy in white clothes teasing someone. He locks a girl in a transparent box and makes her confess her guilt. However, the little girl doesn't know what she did wrong. The boy in white clothes is the killer who has arranged all of this. As expected, Camille is being imprisoned here, and next to her is the killer. He throws Camille down and the kids rush in. Layla asks the killer what exactly is happening to the world. And he tells them the truth that the amusement park was on fire. At the same time, Layla opens fire, the killer collapses. What's weird, although Layla shoots him in the neck, the killer doesn't die, he takes out a paper. Layla looks at it and seems to understand something. She finally remembers what happened before. It turns out that she went to the amusement park a few days ago, where she encountered the kids accompanying her. When she sees the flyer on the wall, Layla understands everything. In fact, the kids all died in the fire a few days ago. The dense fog approaching symbolizes how they died. And we can understand that it's just their spirits. They can't accept the truth that they were dead and decide to go through the fog. Anyway, they're just finding a way to live. The kids step on the accelerator and move forward. A flash of light appears, they go to a completely new world. In front of them is a long staircase. They climb up the stairs and feel happier than ever before. They might figure out where they are. At the end of the staircase, they see a lot of people, all of them are very happy. Suddenly someone points to the sky, the people watch after. And then shout out the slogan. The kids also look up. The people are looking at a pillar of stone. And on the stone, the killer is standing. The kids are terrified. Where are they? It turns out that the kids are still unable to escape from the killer. He's like their fate, who always wants to restrain them. But the kids will never give up. They did fight with their fate and try to run away. I believe that they will keep running.